I'm Tom Hood. I'm here with Charles Fazzi, who's a PhD professor at St. Vincent College.
That's correct.
And participated in today's Future Forum here in Pittsburgh. So welcome.
Thank you.
And so tell them how would you describe today? You go home, what are you going to say? What was this about?
I really didn't know what to expect when I got here, but I found the workshop to be extremely intriguing and sort of to get a good idea as to how the profession will evolve in the next 15 years. I won't be here, but certainly I hope my students and my graduates will be, and I'm trying to find ways to make them aware of what they're going to encounter from a professional perspective.
So you got to look at the old vision, right, from 2011, talk about future trends. So how are you thinking about this relative to your students?
Well, I think it's important for students to have to understand that the accounting profession is more than just numbers. It involves the broader business spectrum. It involves more than just audit and tax. And to convey that image and to get them involved will require them to get a better appreciation of what this type of new vision will look like.
So so what were the big things that stuck out for you in the conversations today?
I think clearly the big issue is, number one, the changing workforce, the supply and demand for accounting professionals, the aging workforce. This clearly will create more opportunities for students and will put them in a better position. Of course, they also need to become aware of what they're getting involved with. So having a better understanding that this is no longer simply a domestic profession, but rather global, and focusing on more than just accounting issues, but being really business advisors to all different types of organizations, both profit and nonprofit, really is the new focus of the accountant. And I think that's going to be an easier pitch, easier to sell, because I have students who are interested in government. I have students who are interested in global and international areas. And then having the technical skills from an accounting perspective will serve them well, because they may start in public accounting, but eventually will evolve into private practice or to a corporate scenario or possibly a nonprofit organization.
Yeah, so you just covered the whole, and they were all in the room.
And we had a great group. I think what really fascinated me the most was that we had participants from each one of these areas, and yet when we sat down and started to identify trends or issues, the consistency, the same issues came up over and over again. It didn't matter if you were an educator in public practice, in private practice, or in a nonprofit. Still the same issues kept echoing throughout the discussion.
Yeah, we found some common patterns and themes, didn't we? That really
very, very common, and I found that to be extremely productive and useful, because personally, if you have an idea, you always wonder if what you're thinking about is truly valid. It's sort of like if I go into a classroom and tell students something, most of the time they'll believe me. But if I bring you in, Tom, and you support what I say, then I'm credible.
Right, expert from out of town, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So in that regard, I thought that's what impressed me the most, that there was a total consistency among this wide divergent group about what the issues are as we look ahead to 2025.
Yeah. So what's your outlook? Do you think it's exciting?
I think it's
scary.
I think it's very exciting. It's scary in a sense that we have a combination of, it seems like, an explosion of technical skills in accounting emerging, along with the need now for an accounting professional to also understand all the business areas, and certainly technology. Of course, for someone like me, it's rather traumatic because I grew up in a less technological world. But frankly, my freshmen that come in are much more adept at technology, so I'm hoping the technology will be less of an issue, and they'll be able to grapple more with the technical issues and skill sets that they need to acquire.
Very cool. Anything else? Anything else you would say to students or other folks out there that might?
I think the other thing that sort of impressed me a lot was the fact that we're the last group coming through this process of going to these forums, and as you mentioned, we're one of 600 who participated out of 400,000 AICPA members. And so I felt like it was well worth my time. You know, I always wonder when you're going to give up an afternoon. Well worth my time to participate and devote myself to this. And it's given me some ideas about some things that I hope I can carry back into the classroom and back onto campus.
Very cool. Charles, thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thanks.